Okay, so welcome to American National Government, Summer 2024 edition. My name is Jonathan Parker. I'll be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. So here is my email. If you need to get in touch with me, this is the way you're going to do it. Jonathan, Jonathan, .parker@icc.edu. I will say, make sure you spell the name right. People have, in the last 2 or 3 years, really since the pandemic, come up with some very creative ways to spell Jonathan. And then students get mad at me because I don't respond to emails I never got. So make sure that the name is spelled correctly. The email gets sent to me, you'll get a response. All right, so office hours, they're by request. If you want to see me and have a live synchronous session, I am perfectly open to that. You just need to reach out, let me know. We'll find something that works with both our schedules, and we will go from there. I'm more than happy to help. I am invested in your success. I want to see you all succeed. So, reach out. I always stress this sentence too. I can't read minds. It seems to be expected increasingly of educators that we are able to read minds. I cannot. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I won't know that you're having difficulty unless you tell me. All right? And that statement might seem incredibly obvious, but people need to hear it sometimes. I don't know that you're struggling unless you reach out and say, Mr. Parker, I'm struggling. I'm more than happy to help. I'll bend over backwards to help you. I'm available by email, as I stated. I will do my best to get back with you within 1 business day. My absolute best. I'm juggling a couple jobs. I've got a little girl, I think, who's starting. I think we're going to put her in swim lessons. We haven't quite finalized that. So there are summer commitments I have, as I know you all have. So I'm not going to be living on the computer. But every effort conceivable will be made to get back to you within 1 business day. So Monday, I'll answer on Tuesday. Fridays, on the other hand, I usually check my ICC email at least once a day. So, I mean, the chances are that you would hear back from me on a Saturday or a Sunday too, if you reached out during that time. Don't count on it. I'm not making a promise here, but the chances are pretty good. So, I won't bore you with this. This is just something that the school makes me put in. Course description, again, you don't need me to read that to you. General information you can take care of by yourself, as well as course level outcomes. The textbook, this is fun. Your textbook is free. I'm very happy about that. This is not the correct way to cite the textbook, but this is what you get. It's through OpenStax. All right, and this is brand new as of this summer. Not the book, but our adoption of it. Brand new as of this summer. So you guys can save quite a bit of money and not buy the expensive textbook that we were using. So here it is. I mean, you can download a PDF if that's what you'd like. I have it printed out myself. You can also view it online, if that's okay by you as well. And I believe there's also an option if you really want to. Here it is. Yeah, if you really want to, you can order a print copy if that's what you want. But it's entirely free. I think, just in my opinion, it's leaps and bounds better than what we were using. So I, for whatever it's worth, endorse this book 110%. And I think, it's got a lot going for it. It's detailed where it needs to be detailed. It's it kind of skims where that's okay to do, and it's just, you guys are going to like it, I think. So there it is. And you have a direct link to download a copy. These will be worked in at some point during the semester, depending on how things go. All right. So assignment submissions, you'll use regular Canvas submissions to turn in work. I think you're all familiar with that. I would really love it if you just typed something up on Microsoft Word, hit save, and then uploaded that. Not a PDF, just it's easier for me on my end, and I don't know if that is because I am technologically illiterate or what, but I have a heck of a time with student submissions, and then I click on them and it says you don't have permission to access this document, and let's just save ourselves a whole bunch of headaches over the next 8 weeks. Just do this, save it, and upload it to Canvas. That way I'm not needing to request access to anything. Academic citation etiquette is another big one. If you turn in a written assignment, you are required to cite your source. That's just a good practice to get into. Cite, cite, cite. Even this. Cite it. Okay? Bibliography. At the end of your written assignments, I'm still, and I'll explain in a little bit, putting the class together. Unit 1 is all covered, so I'm not sure how true this is going to be or how much this is going to apply to what we do over the next 8 weeks, but if there are large writing assignments, all right, you're required to provide a list of sources that you've utilized for the assignment. We'll use MLA9 format for bibliographies, and inline citations for this class. MLA9 seems to be the format that students hate the least. So that's what we're going to go with. And this site, easybib.com, I mean, I know there are 1,001 citation generators on the internet. That's just one of them. All right. Inline citations are also expected in any writing assignments that you turn in where you have used outside sources. Example, not the textbook. Outside sources are not the textbook. If you have any doubts about whether something needs to be cited, just cite it. I've never taken a point off of anything for over-citation. I just circle it. I'll say, hey, you didn't need to cite this, and we move on. But don't take chances with your grade. Don't plagiarize and take chances with your grade. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. I realize that I'm in probably a minority with that these days, but you are in my class, and while you are in my class, you will not be using Wikipedia to cite as a citation for anything. All right, don't cite Wikipedia. It's not an academic resource. I don't care what anybody else says. It's not an academic resource. It's going to negatively impact your grade if I see Wikipedia on anything. How much will it impact your grade? Well, I wouldn't find out if I were you. So academic misconduct and plagiarism, long story short, based on the severity of the offense, the instructor may recommend failure for an assignment or failure for the course. Multiple instances of academic misconduct could include sanctions up to dismissal from the college. I've had to get to there. I've not had to go any further. I do not want to go any further. Please do not give me reason to go any further. I don't even want to do that. Failure for an assignment, but sometimes my hand has just been forced. Plagiarism has been an issue every semester that I've taught here. It really has. I had a student once upon a time write a term paper for me, and the term paper turned out to be all comments off of a YouTube video that he decided to watch as one of his sources. And then he didn't understand why that was wrong. Don't plagiarize. Plagiarizing, again, if I haven't made that clear, is using any work, any words, anything that is not your own. First time I catch you plagiarizing, I'll give you a 0 for whatever assignment you've plagiarized without the opportunity to redo it. And that includes major things too. The second time I catch you plagiarizing, I'll fail you for the course. It'll break my heart, but I'll do it. No exceptions to this will be made. So late work, I get, things happen. Of course, I'll work with you if there's some sort of emergency or other extenuating circumstance, but as a rule, I generally don't accept late work. If you come to me and Mr. Parker, I just forgot this assignment. Well, you just forgot. All right. On the other hand, Mr. Parker, I was hospitalized for all of last week. Here's the proof. Okay, that's a different story. I'll work with you with that, of course. If a circumstance, occurs like an illness or a death in the family, just talk to me. And make sure that you have proof of what you said happened did actually occur. I see some familiar names in the rosters for these two sections. You know me. You know I'm pretty reasonable, and I don't think any of you will have anything to worry about. But just keep an open line of communication with me is really what I'm getting at, and I can help you better that way. And we'll get into more of that later. Grading scale, standard 10 points. Lecture discussion. This course, again, is completely asynchronous, which means you don't have to log in at any specific time. I'm going to throw in some lecture-based videos throughout the semester. And if you work your way through the modules and do this course honestly and like you should, you're not going to miss them. You'll see them. They'll be there. There will be a significant amount of discussion and participation included in the modules. I inherited this course and this curriculum, so I'm going to be working on it quite a bit, and you'll see that when we get to me showing you around the course. So, some of the stuff I decided to keep from how I taught the class in the spring and really back until the spring of 2018 until this past semester. Some of that I kept. Most of it, as in like 95% of it, I had to mothball. But I'll show you in a little bit. You'll normally get some PowerPoints, maybe the occasional lecture video where appropriate. Other types of presentation styles might be incorporated. This is a pretty standard asynchronous summer class. All right, methods of student learning. So your grade, what you actually care about, is here. 20% quizzes, 30% unit exams. That's not 10%, 10%, 10%. That's your average for Unit 1, your average for Unit 2, your average for Unit 3. That consists of the 30% of your grade. I hope that makes sense. It's not, it's by the end of the semester, it's how you've done on all three of the exams, and that'll be the 30% of your final grade. Learning activities, this was just what the person I got it from, this course from, called classwork. That's all it is. 30% of your final grade. Engagement, again, what the person I got this course from called discussion. I will probably be changing the name to classwork and discussion when I put this together for the fall. You can get through H on your own. I throw in some news resources. Some lean a little left, some lean a little right. Some I think are pretty down the middle. I don't advise taking a test and then forgetting about the material. That is a big mistake. Not all topics in this class are created equal. You have, for instance, about a module and a half that I've dedicated just to federalism. You're going to be seeing federalism on Unit Exam 1, Unit Exam 2, Unit Exam 3. It's an important concept. Keep your notes and study. You may strike that and put will see test questions from the first test on the final. I didn't catch. That should be Unit Exam 3. It's not my responsibility to chase you down to make sure you're keeping up with your work. If you have to take some time away during the course of the class, ask a classmate, email a classmate or me or anybody what you missed. If you choose not to do this, you're going to start seeing a lot of zeros in Canvas. So don't do that. You are expected to attend class each week. Attendance is defined as completing homework assignments as well as logging into Canvas. And Canvas tells me when you log in. Canvas shows me how much time you spend on the course and where you've spent that time on. Students in the past have tried to argue with me about logging into the course, and Canvas shows they've never logged in, or they might have logged in and spent 1 second and then logged back out. I know when you're logging into the class how long you're there for and what you're doing. Canvas shows all that to me. So when it comes time, to determine attendance, to see who the never attenders and non-attenders are, I can very easily determine that. And there's really not a whole lot you can do in this class or any other class that you take at this college or any other college that uses Canvas as a learning management system to, skirt around actually doing the course the correct way and dedicating time to it. So, just log into class. And the takeaway here from the syllabus, keep an open line of communication with me. You will be fine. You will learn something from this class. You might even enjoy yourself. Stranger things have happened in a college classroom, even an online college classroom. So our course schedule, I've broken it up into units 1, 2, and 3 that take us through the end of the course. Right, so the introduction in Unit 1 will open to you on June 3rd. You've got to get the introductory stuff done during the first week. The rest of it, you have until June 23rd to get it all done and take the test. Now, like here, you see I've bolded the holidays. We have July 4th, June 19th, Juneteenth. I'm not expecting you to work. In fact, I'd encourage you to take time away and enjoy your friends and family. Time commitment. As I've said, this is my first time through this course presented in this way. I ballparked it. It might take you less time. It might take you more time. I really don't have a solid answer. 6 to 8 hours sounded pretty reasonable. So that's what I went with. The instructor reserves the right to add or subtract from any part of the syllabus as the semester progresses. He will make every attempt to notify students of changes through Canvas and or through email. So let's look around the course. Some of this is what my colleague had that I just thought was useful information that I wouldn't include in a syllabus of my own, but I left it up here just in case you guys needed it or found it of value. Right, so college documents, Code of Student Rights, Responsibilities, and Conduct. Now the course syllabus, let's just be perfectly clear, right here. Boom, that's your course syllabus. This is just extraneous information that I thought was still relevant and worthy of preservation. Modules. So start here, view this module first. Hey, that might be a clue to start here and view this module first. So meet your instructor. Hey, you're meeting me right now, but this is probably more information than you'll ever want or need to know about me. I'll go over this bit. Students always tell me that their biggest worries about this class are that they're not going to be able to understand the material, they're going to find the material boring, or that they're worried about how they're going to manage their time with their other summer commitments. I can't help you with the time management aspect. I just can't. That's up to you. You signed up for this class of your own free will. I can also do very little if you find the material boring. I'm sorry if you do. What I say in my face-to-face classes, I mean, you don't care about the government, that's fine, but the government, at the risk of sounding conspiratorial, the government sure does care about you. I hopefully can address any fears you might have about being able to understand things and manage what I present. This course is run at a very introductory level. Very, very introductory. I do not assume that you're virtually walking in with any knowledge whatsoever. Okay, if you don't put this class off until the very last minute, you shouldn't be overwhelmed by the amount of work required. Now let's take a look here. Start here, June 3rd through 9th. Syllabus, June 3rd through June 9th. You have to get this done in week 1, right? The rest of it, it's available June 3rd. It's all due June 23rd, and it goes down here. A lot of it is linked readings. I left this in from the person I inherited this course from, Open Introduction in a New Window. Right? The chapters really are not that long. In my print copy, they don't exceed 12, maybe 13 pages. And the last page of that is a bibliography. So it looks worse than it is. All right, I recognize that this does look like a lot. I recognize that. The assigned readings really are not a lot. But you just have to put the time in. If you log in on June 21st and start all of this, well, first off, you're going to miss 43 very easy points. But there's no way on earth that you're going to be able to get it all done in 48 hours. So just pace yourself steadily. You know, we start here with the Magna Carta. If you can't watch 30 minutes at once, don't. Pause it after 15 minutes, 10 minutes, go get a snack, stretch your legs. I promise you, I'll still be there. All right? Other than that, I mean, you'll get it here, because this book, I still thought a weakness of this book is it doesn't explain where all this came from. It's just like, you know, the Pilgrims got off the boat and, you know, now we have this beautiful country. There was some development that went on in the meantime, right? You know, we have the Code of Hammurabi, we have Magna Carta, we have the Mayflower Compact. There are events that lead up to this idea of we the people, that lead up to the ideas in our founding documents. Magna Carta is certainly a direct influence, and it's from our political motherland, meaning the United Kingdom. So we start here. All right. Then American government continued. I put a to-do list at the start of each module. Some modules have learning objectives, others don't. That doesn't mean there's no learning, but they're not book, right? So like this, I made this myself. Yeah, there are things you need to learn. I just don't list them because, you have enough to read. At the end of every module in this first unit, there's feedback. I inherited the vast majority of this curriculum, right? So I want to know what's working and what isn't. So you get the chance after every module to voluntarily and completely anonymously, hand to God, it's anonymous, tell me what's working, what isn't, if you found it a struggle, if you think it's wonderful. I do, and I think those of you that have had me before can attest to this. I do take student feedback very seriously. That's not saying I promise that I'm going to do whatever you suggest. That decision ultimately rests with me, but it's not hard to persuade me. I'll leave it at that. But that's at the end of every module. What I will say, and I have this in here, if you choose to fill out this survey, please give me constructive feedback. And I will mention that because in feedback in the past, I've had people cuss me out, I've had people insult me. That will make you certainly feel better in the moment, but it's not going to change anything about how I run the course. And keep in mind also that as of this moment, and again, a lot can change in a week, as of this moment, modules 1 through 6, the first unit is up and running. The test is not completed, and then there's the rest of it. So based on this feedback you give, there's a lot that I can and will probably change. So take it seriously. Don't use it just as a tool to make yourself feel better in the moment. I've given into that temptation when I was an undergraduate, and it doesn't change anything. But other than that, I think this is pretty easy to use. I mean, you just work your way through the modules. I'll pop up in a video sometimes, other times I won't. There's always a to-do list. I do have a checklist I'll put up here for the entire unit, so you can just print it out and check it off as you go. But I think this will be a great summer. I think you will enjoy it, dare I say, or at the very least find it tolerable. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. And please email me, reach out if you need to. All right. Bye.